Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary O'Connor. Thank you to Alaska Public Media, KAKM, the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health for allowing me to bring you Hangar Flying. And of course, thanks to our audience for tuning in. This evening, we are pleased to have on our show Kristi Warden, who is the Deputy Division Manager, Airports Division of the Federal Aviation Administration's Alaska region. Kristi, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much, Mary. Great to be here. Thank you.
So your division works to provide the guidance and leadership for the planning, development, and operation of the Alaska airport system.
Sure, we sure do. And from a federal perspective, the Federal Aviation Administration, we provide essential funding to the airport owner, to the airport operator, whom we refer to as the airport sponsor, to maintain all of the public use, publicly owned airports consistent with our guidance and our federal regulations.
So you're part of that unseen force that keeps the airport safe, although people don't necessarily see the FAA out there working on the airports.
I think, of course you're right, and I think one of the greatest roles we play is the airport facilitator. We facilitate the practicalities of helping a sponsor operate an airport. Not only operate it from a very safe and very efficient perspective, but most importantly from a capital development perspective. We provide federal funding for capital developments, infrastructure projects, airside, landside, all of it capital development projects, and these are very important as compared to operations funding, which the sponsor provides. But our focus, our contribution is on the capital improvement side.
And how many airports in the Alaska region are you responsible for helping the sponsors with?
Right now it's 259 airports, and these are what we call NIPIAS member airports, National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems. And to the layperson, that's a public use, publicly owned airport typically, that is a NIPIAS member airport that we, FAA, recognize as an obligated airport. So we provide funding, federal funding, to the airport sponsor to operate, for capital developments at that airport. When everyone purchases an airline ticket, we all pay federal excise tax, 7.5% federal excise tax. And that funding, along with some other funding in terms of segment fees, in terms of some other taxes on the ticket, go into the Aviation Trust Fund. And as Airports Division, we are authorized by Congress, typically annually or a couple of times annually, to reach into the trust fund to pull out funding for capital development, capital improvements at airports. We pass that funding on to eligible and recognized airport sponsors to implement projects that we and they agree are essential for the development of the airport, for the capital development and the infrastructure. We go through a long project vetting process, a planning process, a multi-year process, where we partner really with the sponsor to identify what those needs might be, make sure that they meet our eligibility and our justification criteria, and then enable the sponsor to execute those projects with our federal funding.
But it's definitely a partnership relationship. It's not the FAA telling them what they have to do other than meeting, say, minimum standards. There's some give and take there.
Partnership is key. It's essential. We, of course, do not operate the airports. We're not in the business. We're very much in the development business. So we will partner with the sponsors and help them take on that role exactly as you have stated. Yes, we have guidelines, we have regulations, we have standards, we have safety criteria, we have other criteria and regulations that our sponsors adhere to. But it's very much a partnership, and that's something that our office takes very seriously.
Speaking of your office, how many people work in the Airports Division with the Alaska region?
There are 20 of us in the office. Nationwide, there are about 580 airports employees within the FAA, 20 in this region, and we are one of 9 regions plus a headquarters.
So that's pretty small to get a lot of work done.
It sure is. We're flowing approximately $200 million a year. of capital development funding for our NIPIAS member airports to the sponsors. We're doing that with 20 staff, but not every one of those 20 staff does solely capital development or solely funding functions. We are running 6 programs in that office. We definitely have our financial areas, our airport improvement program, our passenger facility charge program. We also have the safety and standards side of the house, the Part 139, the airport certification and safety inspection program with our staff, our specialists. We also have airport compliance. That's an essential part of our sponsors operating consistent with our regulations. We have a robust environmental management program for all of our environmental concerns. So we've got many programs going on in the office all at once with our 20 folks.
Wow, that's really impressive. I have learned so much. Kristi, it's been a pleasure having you on our program. We have to wrap it up right now, but we look forward to having you back on our next show and learning more about what you do.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thanks.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Hangar Flying, and next time you buy an airline ticket, I hope this helps you understand where some of that tax money is going. Fly safely.